welcome to Dackman Productions and welcome to Conahey Rail. So this is going to be my York show haul video, and the funny part about that is I met quite a few people who didn't even know what a show haul video was. You know, they were kind of curious when they seen other YouTube channels creating a show haul video because they had no idea what that meant. For those who are new, a show haul video is where you go to a train show, you buy a bunch of stuff that you like or on your wanted list, you come back to your studio and you record what you bought. A lot of people are interested in a show haul video. But at any rate, first I would like to thank all of the viewers and the supporters of this channel for coming up to me and saying hello and hi. It was a great experience at the York Fall meet for 2025, as usual. Yeah, it was quite busy for me. There was a lot of interviews going on, a lot of people coming up to me. So I appreciate the fans of the Dackman Productions YouTube channel. I also appreciate the hobby shops and the vendors who also support me in ways of I would have never imagined. I mean, they go up the bat for me and said, we want Dackman in here to film our stuff on our tables. Is there any way you can get them in that respect? Also the show organizers who now believe in what I'm doing to help promote them. So it's a win situation for everybody, for Dackman Productions, for the hobby shops, for the show promoters. And again, I could not have a channel like this to begin with without the viewers and supporters of this Dackman Productions YouTube channel. I mean, I really appreciate you guys a lot, and I know sometimes you know, when I'm out at the shows I might not be able to spend some time with you, which is going to be my next thing here and we'll talk about. So I seen there was a comment, I don't know if it was directed at me or at a hobby shop, but the comment was they were a little disappointed because it felt like they were, you know, kind of like pushed off a little bit. And you guys are going to understand who are new to this channel that you know, I am brought aboard as a real official videographer, so I am kind of like working too in a way. So I don't mean to push you guys off. If it happened, I have very limited amount of time with everybody to spend with because there's so much that I have to do, especially at the York Fall meet. Now there are other shows where I can leisure around a little bit and spend time with people. But when it comes to the fall TCA or the spring TCA York meets, there is so much to film and so many interviews that I really, you know, I have to watch my time. And Friday of all days was probably the worst day to catch up with me because I had sold trains to 3 different people and I was going to meet them at York, so I had all that to schedule. And then on Friday I had a whole bunch of interviews that I had to get to, and then I had people calling me up for interviews, and I had to, you know, so I was especially on the phone. I also did a live recording with the Hennings trains on Friday, so I had a lot going on. So if it seemed like you were pushed away, and I'm sorry to disappoint you, but in the same token, I only have so much time, and Friday was the worst day. And I hope I'm explaining myself. I don't know, dedicated fans of the Dackman Productions YouTube channel always say, Sean, you don't have to explain yourself, we know what's going on. But people who are new to the channel may not, so I don't mind explaining what's happening. And if you notice that there are a lot of benefits to being an official videographer. Don't get me wrong, but there's also disadvantages too. And one of those biggest disadvantages is that I don't get to hang out with people. I'm busy filming, so You know, that's why you won't see any pictures of myself on social media with other YouTube channels. I would love to hang out with those guys. But if I did, I wouldn't be able to bring the videos that you guys want, and I have obligations to satisfy with the TCA to make them happy, being, you know, making sure that I do the things that I agreed to satisfy our agreement of being the official videographer. So even with the YouTube channels, I just hope that they don't think I don't want to hang out with them. I would love to hang out with them. You know, I mean, I got great friends who are in the YouTube community, like Nick from Nick's Cross and Dave from DA Griffin, Art from Art's Model Trains, and the list just goes on. I would love to hang out with those guys, but unfortunately at this show I don't have the time. I couldn't even make a meet and greet because I was steady filming from Wednesday to Saturday. And yeah, I'm there Wednesday all day, Thursday all day, Friday all day, and Saturday for half a day. So that's why you don't even see photos of myself hanging out with other YouTube channels. So I'm a pretty busy guy. So I hope that explains that. And that comes up to the next thing. The two most common questions that I get: Sean, do you really enjoy doing this? It seems like a lot of work. Absolutely, this is a lot of work, but yeah, I enjoy it. It's like a second hobby. I get to shoot videos, and I made basically I was able to, you know, create a relationship with the hobby shops by doing this. The second question I got is, how much time does it take to do all this? For this TCA, for this 2025 TCA Eastern Division York Fall meet, not counting this video because I'm doing this from home, so I don't count this video, but anything that I've done at the York show for the fall, total amount of hours invested is 55 hours. I have 55 hours invested between filming. Again, I was there 10 hours Wednesday, average of 10 11 hours Wednesday, 10 to 11 hours Thursday, 10 to 11 hours Friday, and 4 hours Saturday. And then the edit time. So I have an average of right around 55 to 60 hours of invested time into coming out or producing these videos for you guys to see. And I appreciate your comments when you tell me it's almost like being there. Thank you for taking me to the train show. Those comments mean a lot to me, and that's what keeps me going on doing this. The next thing I would like to cover is there was a couple comments where people think that I get special treatment from doing this from the hobby shops, and let me just tell you, I don't ask for special treatment at all. And so special treatment meaning discounts, whatever have you. So well, the hobby shops now know or are comfortable enough with me that they want me to come and film their booth, and I never ask them for anything ever. And they're comfortable enough to know that I won't come back later and say, hey, I want this, what can you do for me on price? Or, hey, I did all these films for you, can you cut me a better deal? I don't do that to them, and they see that now. I'm sure in the beginning they were thinking, well, why is this guy doing this for free? Something's up. And I don't blame them for thinking of that in that way at all. I would have thought that way. I'm like, someone's going to film for me for free. There's got to be something he wants. But no. So I do it for the content and the promotion. So when I want something, I'll look at it and I'll look at the price. If it's a price that I like, then I'll go up there and stand in line like everybody else. And if I don't like the price, I'll put it back, but I won't say anything. I won't go up there and say, hey, can you do me a better deal? I won't do that. But if I do like the price, and I like the car, or whatever it is, I'll go up, stand in line. And whatever happens after that, well, if they offer me a discount, well, of course I'm not going to refuse it. But if they don't offer me a discount and they say, well, yeah, this is $55.95, I'm not going to say, well, can you do me a better price? Won't do it. But if they look at it, $55.95, I'll give it to you for $45. Okay, I let them make me the offer. I won't ask them for an offer. And that's the difference. And I've had hobby shops, and I won't name who they are, it's not important, but tell me in confidence of how much they make off my videos. I have ones that say, Sean, we're guaranteed at least $500 to $1,000 on one of your videos. I had ones that said we made anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000. And my standard answer is, great, I'm glad it worked out for you, and I hope you keep coming back to the shows knowing that these video promotions work. That's the whole goal of this. I want these hobby shops to keep coming back, so if they've had a bad show, they're going to be like, well, Dagman was there shooting video, well, maybe we'll make sales after that show that'll make up for it. And it's happened. It actually works out for them, because you guys are telling them, we want this because we saw it on Dagman Productions video, and that's very important. Because now they're going to say, well, we might not did good at this show, but Dagman was there to film it, and so the sales after that show made up for it, so we're going to go back to the show again in hopes that, you know, we make money, and if we don't, well, Dagman may cover those costs for us. And I'm glad it works out. That's my standard answer, and I never ask them for anything in return because it gives me content to put on my YouTube channel, and I'm happy enough for that. So for those who are thinking that I get these special discount advantages or these deals that I work out with them, absolutely not true. Don't believe me? Ask Stu from Mecca. The only thing I've asked Stu from Mecca is, hey Stu, can you do something for my viewers? I never asked Stu to do anything for me personally. I want my viewers to benefit from the videos that I'm showing over myself. If you notice that I put everybody else before myself in videos. The vendors are first, the show organizers are first, everybody comes first. The viewers come before me. I want the viewers to benefit from my videos. And if I can cut a deal with somebody to get a discount, I want it to be for viewers, not for Dagman Productions. It doesn't matter about me. I want people to watch who subscribe to my videos, basically, to benefit from something like that. So I want to explain that part out. So I want to cover a couple other things and then we'll get into the show haul. So first of all, you guys remember that I made a video on the Lionel Conrail patched Reading locomotive GP35. I bought it as a parts locomotive to basically turn it into a junkyard scene, to just agitate wool. And it ended up being a nice piece. I made a couple repairs to it and I did a video of it running. It was a great runner. I asked you guys, hey, what should I do here? Some of you said save it. Some of you said go ahead and do your scrap scene. Some of you said run it. I did something that you guys, I don't know if you've seen on video, but I put a link to it in this description of this video. I ended up going over there to Henning's Trains and I ended up handing it over to Walt. Walt had said, hey Sean, you do realize that's a pretty rare locomotive. I'm like, no, I didn't know that. He goes, you can find Reading, the Lionel Reading GP35 number 5513, but that 5518 you just don't see. He said he's seen only one other one beside the one that I had. And at that point I was like, oh. So I decided to, it belongs in Walt's collection, his Reading collection, so I handed it over to him. I did a live presentation. Normally when I do my video presentations, there's not a crowd, but I was falling behind in time, so I had to do it while there was public people coming through, and there was people who stopped and watched us do the taping. It was like taping behind a live audience. But when I handed it over to him, I don't know if you could hear the people in the background, but they were totally surprised and shocked. They were like, wow, that's awesome. And people came up to me after the fact. They said it was a really heartfelt moment when I handed that locomotive over to Walt, saying, yeah, it really belongs in your collection. I can't destroy this. So that's where it ended up. It's at a good home. It's over at Walt Herbine's of the Train Shop Weekly. If you don't know who the Train Shop Weekly is, check them out. It's done by Henning's Train Shop over there in Mansfield, Pennsylvania. Speaking of Reading, I had somebody come up to me, and I thought he was kidding at first. I think it was like Thursday, first thing Thursday. Somebody come up to me and said, hey Sean, guess what I'm going to do? I'm like, well, what's that? He goes, I'm going to buy every Reading freight car that I see to save it from being patched over to Conrail. I'm like, okay. Sounds good to me. Have at it. Alright, I'll check you out later. Sounds good to me. Alright, we'll see you. I thought he was kidding. I thought he was joking. Here, he was being serious. This is a serious Reading guy who did not want anything Reading being patched over to Conrail. By the end of the show Saturday, he had saved, or bought, we'll say bought, but saved 43 pieces of Reading rolling stock, all Reading that he bought, because he was afraid that me or somebody that I influenced Conrail wise would buy it and patch it over to Conrail. So I'm like, wow, you're serious. So it's funny in a way to see, somebody who sees me patching over Reading that might be afraid that somebody else might get the same idea, and then he's on this venture now to save all the Reading rolling stock from being patched over to Conrail. 43 pieces he bought, and so I seen his post of this train that he made of 43 pieces that he bought, and I made the post, well, sooner or later Reading does get patched over to Conrail. But for now, you saved those pieces from that happening. So that was pretty funny. Alright, so let's get into what we got here today. I made the introduction long enough. For those of you who are on my personal Facebook page, know I was going through a health issue, and the doctor put me on a diet. So I had to lose weight. So I'd like to thank viewers Tim and Ann for this healthy treat. Rather than eating potato chips or Doritos, I've been eating these crispy fruit snacks. They're a lot more healthier for you. No salt, no fat, no cholesterol, no sodium. Really, really healthy. I'm reading the sugars on this. I'm allowed to have sugary stuff. I just gotta watch how much of it. But this is fine for me, and I really enjoy these. And I thank them for this wonderful treat. And first time I tried the pear, I like the apple, the mango, the pineapple. They're all good. This is a healthy treat for those who are on a strict diet. I'm not saying for diabetes, then you have to watch, which I don't have, but I had other things going on with me. But that's a perfect snack. Thank you. And so, next thing up, I forget who it was. But, sorry, I don't remember your name. Somebody came up to me and handed me this K-Line CSX tank container. It goes on a flat car. A very cool piece. and really appreciate that. And so we'll put that somewhere on the layout, maybe even put it on a flat car. It probably would look good on a flat car. Maybe I might need another one to go with it. But at any rate, so it's a great piece. That will, and it's metal. It feels like it's all metal too. Alright, the tank may be metal. It's pretty heavy. I think the tank is metal with a plastic frame. But it's a pretty nice piece. So I'll put that over here for right now. Walt presented me with this property Conrail first aid kit once I handed him over that locomotive. So a lot of these band-aids in here are actually marked or labeled as being Conrail, which is kind of cool. He did point out somebody must have restocked it at one time because there are non-Conrail band-aids in here, but for the most part a lot of the Conrail stuff is still in here. So right after I shot that video giving Walt or handing Walt over that Reading GP35, Howard came up to me and said, "Hey Sean, you don't like GE locomotives, do you?" I'm like, "No, I call them garbage electric." I said, "They're not really that great. I'm a really EMD fan." And he says, "Well, why don't you find a GE Conrail locomotive and shell and use that for a scrap steam instead?" He said they would probably be easier to find. I'm like, no, it's not a bad idea, because Conrail did have a scrap yard. It was the Rutherford yard, for those of you who may remember, where he would line locomotives up to be and a deadline to be scrapped. So they really did have Conrail really did scrap their own locomotives, because most of them were wore out when they got them anyway. So right after Howard said that to me, Joe from the Central Operating Lines Club up there on Long Island said, "Sean, I got some Conrail shells for you. You can put them around your layout, or you can do whatever you want with them." I'm like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Cool." So in here is a Conrail RS11 shell. I'm like, oh, guess what? That'll be a cool scrap scene for sure. Because although I may not like GE, Alco is right underneath of GE. They made, as far as I'm concerned, the worst diesel locomotives. And I know people may not agree with me, but as far as a diesel mechanic stance, not a rail fan stance, Alco diesels were one of the, they were the worst. They're actually below GE. They're the worst of the worst. Those PAs that they made were so unreliable, wasn't even funny. And they didn't have much luck with the RS locomotives. I know people go, "Oh, there's still RS3s around." Yeah. Did you take a look underneath the other and notice the trucks are actually from, a lot of them are rebuilt with EMD trucks. Some of them even have EMD engines in them. So a lot of them gutted and actually turned into an EMD internally to make them more reliable. But don't get me wrong, Alco made a wonderful steam locomotive, but they had no clue on how to make a good diesel locomotive. So if you don't agree with me, we can agree to disagree. So this is going to be in a scrap scene from Rutherford Yard. So good idea, Howard. We'll do it with that one. Got another one here. I believe that's an MP15. It looks like, maybe. It doesn't say it on here. So they are dated. This one's dated. That's interesting. It has a date of 3/12/14. So that's a quite old body. And we have another one here. 3/8/14. So we got another one. Not sure what I'm going to do with these switcher bodies yet, but we'll figure something out. Also, I got a couple things from Kevin Quinn. So he gave me this photo of 4800, GG1 4800. Very cool. The photo is quite old. On the back it says 1934. So that's like, wow, that's pretty close to being the prototype years actually. But it's marked 4800, so it must have been when they first just put it in service after they experimented with it. Also, got a picture. He handed me over a picture with Tim, who ended up being one of my biggest fans of the Dakman Productions YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Appreciate everybody again who follows my YouTube channel. Alright, so my first stop was the Purple Hall. I seen this set, the MTH Conrail spine set, and that's what it's called too. It actually says Conrail 5-car spine set, item number 20-95036. I didn't have this yet, and I stopped by and asked what the price was on it. He told me the price. I was like, I went to ask my next question, and he's like, well, that's the best I can do on that price. And I stopped and I was like, whoa, I'm not asking for you to do better for me. He goes, oh, I'm asking you if you take a different type of payment. Because I want to try and save some amount of cash aside for other things. He goes, yeah, I'll take other payments. So I'd like to thank Ryan Newman. No, not the race car driver Ryan Newman from NASCAR. For those of you who are NASCAR fans. No, we're talking about Ryan Newman, the Purple Hall captain, which you saw in my pre-show video. He was one of the ones that were talking to the newscaster in that video. And so yeah, he thought I was trying to haggle with him, and I'm like, no, I do realize there are people on eBay who are trying to sell the same set for $400, and that's why you see the sets there. He was nice enough. Alright, Sean, before you buy this, I want to make sure everything's good to go. So he took it out. We looked at all the cars and we put it all back in. He really went out of his way to make sure I was, satisfied that this set is like new. This is a brand new set, and he wasn't even close to the $400. He was really reasonable, and I just wanted to know, hey, do you take another payment besides cash? Because I'm trying to say, because I was trying to catch up to people to pay me for the trains that I sold, and I haven't gotten paid yet. And because I still haven't, because this was Wednesday, I was trying to collect money for the trains that I sold to 3 different people. So he said, yeah, I can do that for you. I can take, I think it was PayPal I paid him with, and I sent them money that way. So yeah, there are people who don't necessarily take strictly cash. They'll take PayPal or other cash apps. I love PayPal. Some people like Zelly, but at any rate, it worked out in the end, and I got this at $200 is what I paid for this. And I think that was a perfect price for a brand new set. Atlas Master Series Berwicks. So there was only 2 people selling them that I seen. And remember what I said, if you don't pre-order, you're going to miss out and you're going to pay the price later. So I forgot to pre-order these, and then you guys realize what happened after the fact. They were going for anywhere from $200 to $300 after the stock ran out and ran dry. And that's what they were selling for. People were actually paying the money to get what they wanted. So, Jaybird's Junction was selling them, and I went up to him. I said, "How much you asking for these?" I had the Berwicks with the smaller can opener logo, but these ones, they put the larger logo on them, and I wanted them, but I just forgot to pre-order them. And so anyway, Jaybird looks at me. He's like, without even blinking an eye, he says $200. I'm like, come on, Jay. I said, we're not on eBay right now. We're at the TCA Eastern Division York meet. I said, this is not eBay. You gotta do better than that. He goes, well, what are you going to offer? It's like $120. And he's like, nah, how about $180? I'm like, no, I'm not doing that either. He goes, $150? I'm like, no, not $150 either. Then he's like, alright, $140. About the best I can do. I said, okay, Jay, I realize you have a booth and tables to pay for and so forth and so on. I missed out on it. I realized that now there's like a little bit of a premium to them. Alright, I'll give you your $140 for it. So I bought the one, and then later on the next day I seen he still had some left over. They weren't really selling it out, they weren't really flying off the shelf at $200. And I looked at him and I said, hey Jay, sell me the other one. He's like, oh man, you're killing me. I said, yeah, I know. I said, no, you're killing me. I said, eBay prices? That's killing me. He goes, oh, alright. Same price as the last one? I'm like, yeah, that's fair. He goes, I'll sell it to you for the same price if you give me a shout out. I'm like, no problem. So here you go. You can haggle, you can, talk to, the vendors. So shout out to Jaybird's Junction. He's on eBay. Check him out on eBay. He does sell there as well. He's at train shows. Jaybird Junction, thank you very much for allowing me to complete my collection without the eBay pricing. I mean, I don't mind paying a fair price, but I don't like to overpay either. And so we both are pretty much happy with the deal that we made. Next, well, I ended up getting something from Grzybowski's. Sure, you see this box, and you probably already know what it is. It's another locomotive. So, for those of you who may not remember, I bought a Lionel GP9 and the 9B, both in blue. Now, the GP9B is a super base, which means it is a non-powered unit. So I was thinking that it would be a good puller because I sort of got spoiled by my SD45 custom run from Brady's Trains, because that's a powered and super base set as well. And that will really pull. However, when I went to use the GP9 and the 9B to pull only 15 cars, it just ended up sitting there and spinning the wheels. And I was like, what? And I'm like, well, how come my SD45 will pull a 20 car train? I mean, it's even pulled a 40 car train without even slipping a wheel, but yet my GP9 won't even pull a 15 car train. So it's sort of like disappointing. And I wasn't And so I ended up putting it in the Cargill yard as a switcher, which is what I didn't want to do, but I did that in the meantime because there wasn't really a lot of cars that I was switching out. So that's why you haven't really seen it doing many runs, because it's really not a good puller. So if you're expecting that set to pull a lot of cars, you'll be sadly mistaken. So I figured, well, I might as well buy the Conroe Patch Penn Central GP9 and complete the set. I'll have the 3 locomotive set. And this will give me the extra pulling power that I need to pull the train that I want. So here you guys go. I'll make a separate video about this. I won't cover the history behind the GP9 itself, because I already did that with the blue one, but I will let you guys know a little bit of history about 7043 and, you know, where it originally came from, and then we'll make a run with it. So here you guys go. This is going to go my GP9, GP9B in blue that I already bought. This will complete the 3 locomotive set. So, appreciate you guys watching another Deckman Productions video. Thank you again for coming up to me. And if I cut you sort of short, sorry about that. Apologize for that. Again, I'm under a certain timeline to get things done. And, you know, there are shows where I can spend a little bit more time with people. It's just that the fall one is pretty chaotic. Or the TCA is pretty chaotic anyway. But without you guys, again, this channel couldn't be possible. Also, would like to say thank you for 16,000 subscribers. It wouldn't have been, I couldn't, and this would not have been possible again without the viewers like you. 16,000 subscribers is what I have on my channel now, so that's a celebration too. Thank you very much. I would also like to thank the Lower Susquehanna Valley Railroad Club for the open invite. They had an open house during the York event. It is open to the public, I believe. But it was a great event. Very, very crowded. So I got very little video footage, but unfortunately, somehow or another, I either lost the footage or I accidentally deleted it. So I had one of Homer Simpson dope moments. I wish I could have downloaded footage, but I don't know. I couldn't find it, so I must have deleted it or lost it. One or the other. So sorry about that to the club for the very little footage that I did get. Because I didn't stay there long, because I don't do well in overcrowded situations. I'm going to give a shout out to Travis Moody, who did show on video, which is one of the reasons why I was trying to save it. He built this cool boxcar, not only with sounds, but the actual MTH Christmas lights. So he is building and offering that service where he installs the genuine MTH Christmas lights onto a boxcar and sounds as well. So if that's something you're looking for, look up Travis Moody, Moody Locomotive Works. Shout out to him. Also, shout out to all the club members who put into all this hard work to host this event. I'm sure, you know, it's not easy to do something like this. Thank you very much for opening up your doors to everybody. I want to also give a shout out to all the hard-working members such as Jen for the wonderful, delicious food that they cook, home-cooked food. I mean, it tasted absolutely amazing. It was great. And I'll make a run with this stuff later. We're not going to do the run this time around because this video is already long enough, and it'll be good for future content anyway. Alright, so we'll catch you at the next train show, the next event. We'll catch you trackside. Goodbye.